Well, it has been a question on the minds of many of us for months. Will vaccinated Americans need booster shots? Well, tonight, the answer is yes, you do. The CDC already issued the recommendation for people with weakened immune systems. And today, U.S. health officials giving the green light to all Americans, saying it is clear protection from the first 2 doses of Pfizer and Moderna, that protection is weakening. Top doctors, backed by the White House, now recommending a 3rd dose of the coronavirus vaccine 8 months after the most recent dose. And starting September 20th, millions of Americans will begin scheduling those booster shots, starting with healthcare workers and people in nursing homes. And it sets off another wave of mass vaccination efforts across the country. And more questions tonight about efficacy and the Delta variant. I spoke with the NIH director, Dr. Francis Collins, after today's announcement about what went into today's decision and why now. Well, this is a big day, and I want to start with the timing of this decision today. The last time that you and I spoke, you told me that a booster would be necessary when vaccinated people started showing signs of more significant illness. That was less than 2 weeks ago. So walk us through what has changed.
Well, we are trying to make decisions based on evidence, and we have more evidence, more data. And much of this is, of course, dependent upon the things that have really changed with this pandemic in the last couple of months, which is the Delta variant, which is so much more contagious. And so as we are looking both in the U.S. With new data from CDC, 3 papers they published today, as well as other countries like Israel, we can see that the effect of the vaccine in protecting people against infection is starting to wane by the time you get to 6, 7, 8 months after the original injection. It's still very good in preventing severe disease or hospitalization. And while we are not saying today that people need to run out and get boosters, no, we're not. Right now, it's looking pretty good. It's clear that this is something that we need to take seriously and prepare for. Now, we don't want to. Maybe some people think we're going a little early here. Other people may think, maybe you're a little late. It's kind of a Goldilocks thing here, trying to hit it just right. I will tell you, Marnie, I was one of the skeptics of the group of doctors, and that's the Surgeon General and the experts at NIH and CDC and FDA, about whether it was time. I got convinced about 10 days ago that, yeah, you can see the trend. Let's prepare for it. Let's not wait until we have a worse crisis. Let's get those plans in place. And that's what we announced today.
One thing that stuck out to me, the recommendation for a booster is for people 18 and up. And my mind immediately went to those 12 and up, primarily because I have 3 children in that category. So why do they not qualify for this booster at this point?
So I have a grandchild in that category, too. Basically, we are saying use this 8-month duration since your last dose before you're ready for the booster. And basically, we don't think, therefore, that kids under 16 would hit that milestone yet, because that wasn't approved till somewhat later. There's a debate about 16 and 17-year-olds, because they were authorized to get the Pfizer dose back in January. I think there we got to depend on the FDA to look very carefully at the balance of benefits and risks in that situation. So let's see how that plays out in the course of the next month.
It seems like it is taking a while to get approval for kids 12 and younger. Why is that, and when do you anticipate we'll have some more data?
That data is being generated, will be submitted to FDA, we believe, in the next few weeks, and FDA will have to look at it and make a judgment. Frankly, I don't think we'll see approval for kids under 12 before pretty near the end of the calendar year.
It can't come soon enough, I know, for a lot of folks in that category. Dr. Collins, one question that we have had a really hard time getting a straight answer on is how the Delta variant is impacting our kids. Are these kids who have underlying health conditions, or are these kids who are healthy ending up in the hospital because of COVID?
Well, certainly those that have underlying health conditions are at higher risk. And so, yes, some of them are, but not all. And it does look as if Delta may not just be more contagious, which we know it is, but potentially also more severe in terms of the illness it can cause. But we're not sure of that yet. There are people vigorously looking at the data to try to see if that's the case. And if you talk to pediatricians in some of the places in the Southeast that are being hit really hard, they will say their experience taking care of kids in the hospital and in ICUs, it feels different than it was a year ago in terms of how sick these kids are.
Does this pandemic, in your mind, get worse before it gets better?
Well, right now it's on a worsening curve, I have to admit. As a realist, looking at those numbers of cases every day, we're now several times hit over 200,000 cases in a single day. Hospitalizations going up, deaths. We had a couple days ago, more than 1,000 people died. We haven't seen that in months. We've got to get that turned around.
Is it possible, though, that in some form or another, we will be dealing with COVID-19 forever?
Well, there are people who would say this is likely to shift from being a pandemic into being something you call endemic, where it's sort of out there and it flares up from time to time, kind of like the flu. And if that's the way it's going, and if we can create the kind of vaccine protection so that those flare-ups are not so serious that they're landing a lot of people in the hospital or taking lives, well, that might be where we want to go. What we don't want, though, is to have what's happened for the last year and a half go on and have all these hot spots breaking out.
Finally, looking ahead, what happens after this booster? How are you all planning if that starts to wane?
Well, we don't know what the long-term effects of a third dose will be because we only have a little bit of data on right now in terms of what happens. We know that it bumps up your antibody levels dramatically, 20, 30-fold from that additional third dose. But how long that will last, that's going to take some time to watch. Will that give us another year, 2 years, 10 years? We'll have to see. We'll have to watch this. And I can promise you, as a scientist and a doctor, that's how we're going to make decisions, is look at the data and then decide what's best for people. And we're fortunate to live in a country that has the resources to act on that information and do everything we can to save lives.
Dr. Collins, always nice to see you. Appreciate you talking to us.
Thanks, Marnie. Good to be with you.
And by the way, if you got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and you're thinking, well, do I need a booster? The answer today is no, but it sounds like that will also be changing in the weeks and potentially months ahead. So stay tuned for that.